former South Lake Carroll, now Ohio State quarterback Quinn Ewers made headlines again when he signed a contract for $1.4 million with GT Sports Marketing. The new era in college sports is a major talking point among coaches in the area and is the focus of this week's Inside Story. Earlier this summer, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that collegiate athletes could begin benefiting financially, effective immediately, from the use of their name, image, and likeness. Needless to say, this controversial ruling has sparked a lot of interest. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to 2009. That's when former UCLA basketball star Ed O'Bannon filed a lawsuit against the NCAA. His argument was simple. If universities in corporate America can make money off the hard work of the athletes who participate, why can't they? Now, 12 years later, that lawsuit has completely transformed the landscape of college athletics. Some of the most high-profile stars are already commanding upwards of 7 figures for their services.
I think NIL is a great thing for the collegiate athlete. I think time is going to tell what parameters may need to be put on it, because I don't think anybody really knows what parameters need to be put on it, because, you know, whenever you introduce something new with great intent, there's going to be some pitfalls to it, naturally.
I'm happy for anything that's good for kids. I mean, if it changes a person's life because they happen to be a talented football player and that opens the doors for them that otherwise wouldn't be made available, I'm all for that.
Many of the athletes with whom we've spoken embrace the opportunity to be compensated for their talent, but also realize the top priority remains performing at the highest level.
There's a bunch of things that are in this whole NIL dynamic. You know, there's a lot of puzzles that you gotta figure out, but you know, ultimately the only thing I can really control is, you know, the way I perform on the field. I feel like if I'm doing my thing, take care of business on the field, everything will kind of pan out and I'll see success.
I think it's interesting because that's always been a big debate for a long time, college athletes not getting paid when there's so much other kids watching. It's on national TV. So I think it's really interesting. Definitely going to be some withdrawals and restrictions and stuff like that. But I think this is a cool start to something.
Most would agree with that sentiment. Though it's still very early, only time will tell for sure how it all shakes out.
The only thing we need to be wary of is who's advising the kid when it comes to NIL. To me, it's like recruiting. You don't want the wrong person in the wrong kid's ear to where when a kid signs a contract, they get taken advantage of during this NIL process rather than somebody really looking for the kid's best interest.